In the summer of 1950, the world once again stood on the edge of chaos. Just 5 years after World War II, Korea, once occupied by Japan, was free but also divided. At the end of the war in 1945, the Allies split the country along the 38th parallel. The North was occupied by the Soviet Union, the South by the United States. At first, this division was supposed to be temporary, but soon two very different nations began to emerge. In the North, the Soviets installed Kim Il-sung, a communist guerrilla fighter. Land and factories were seized by the state, building a strict communist system loyal to Moscow. In the South, the Americans backed Syngman Rhee, a fiercely anti-communist leader who embraced private enterprise and ties with Washington. This created a capitalist democracy, though not without inequality and unrest. Both sides dreamed of unifying the country, but under their own system. For Kim, that meant communism. For Rhee, it meant capitalism and democracy. Tensions rose, fueled by the Cold War, until finally the spark came. On June 25, 1950, North Korean forces stormed across the border in a surprise invasion.
Are you winning, son? North Korea is coming at me with like 75,000 men! Oh, my stars and spangles. Ah! Here's Jong-un! Help! Help! Don't let the Marxists get you, son! Papa's coming! How did you get here, son?
Within days, the South was collapsing. Seoul fell. Civilians fled in terror. The world watched in shock.
And we can rule the galaxy together. And by together, I mean me. I'll never give in to communism! Corruption, yes! Communism, never! Then you have chosen death. We could be so much more together, my twin brother. What did you call me?
The United Nations acted quickly. Under U.S. leadership, troops from 16 nations were sent to defend South Korea.
Stop right now, North Korea! I'm all right. Oh, he came as well.
By August, the Allies were trapped in a desperate last stand at the Pusan perimeter. The situation looked hopeless. Then came a bold gamble. U.S. General Douglas MacArthur launched a daring amphibious landing at Incheon, far behind enemy lines. Against all odds, the operation was a stunning success. The North Korean army was cut in half, and Seoul was retaken. Suddenly, the war shifted. The Allies pushed north, beyond the 38th parallel, deep into enemy territory. Victory seemed near. But then, in late 1950, a new force entered the war. Hundreds of thousands of Chinese soldiers crossed the Yalu River. Their attack was ferocious and overwhelming.
Don't worry, North Korea. Sleepy Uncle China is finally awake.
United Nations forces were driven back in bitter winter battles like the Chosin Reservoir, where soldiers fought not only the enemy, but freezing winds and snow. The war seesawed back and forth. Seoul changed hands 4 times. Cities were reduced to rubble. Civilians suffered in famine and fire. What began as a swift invasion had turned into a grinding stalemate. By 1951, both sides dug into trenches across the Korean peninsula, eerily similar to World War I. Fighting continued, but the front lines barely moved. Talks of peace dragged on for 2 long years, even as soldiers and civilians continued to die. Finally, on July 27, 1953, an armistice was signed. The guns fell silent, but there was no peace treaty, only a ceasefire. Korea remained divided at the 38th parallel, separated by a heavily guarded demilitarized zone, or DMZ. The cost was staggering. Millions of Koreans dead or displaced, nearly 40,000 Americans killed, and countless Chinese and North Korean soldiers lost. And yet the war never truly ended. Even today, more than 70 years later, North and South Korea remain divided, the DMZ still standing as one of the most dangerous borders in the world. The Korean War is often called the Forgotten War, but for those who lived through its fire and fear, it could never be forgotten. It was a brutal reminder that the Cold War was not always cold. Sometimes it burned hot.